yeah.
All right. Just to make sure. Yep, we're live. Yep, we're live. Okay, let me just mute myself. Okay, um, so today we're going to be live streaming our character creation for Mr. Dutu's game. Could you please elaborate on that, sir?
It's well, yeah. Name's Mr. JK or whatever that I go by, or whatever changed to, or Mr. Dutu, or MDT. I don't know. Anyway, the
The
game will
nameless one.
be
Yes.
basically. Essentially, we are going to be playing Stars Without Numbers Revised Edition, especially the deluxe. It will be level 4 because the particular setting I'm going for is a very dangerous place or like location. But our player, in this case, Meth, will be playing like a level 4 character, like seasoned, quite seasoned. But they're going there for a cease and desist. For those who know the system, it's yeah. But yeah, let's before I go in the diatribe and explain the entire setting. Yeah, that's what we will be doing. Stars Without Numbers level 4 campaign for a one shot, effectively. Though my type of games are normally sandbox, so it probably will be open ended, knowing me.
Nice. The way I create characters is I actually take into consideration the setting itself and like what the narrative is that the GM has for it, if there is at all or to whatever extent. So it's like just to like what is the premise of the one shot? Just like if there was a trailer, like what would you show in the trailer? What you will let me know as a player so that I can properly create my character
I wrote
based on
up the
that.
thing in like one of the chats, but let me see if that actually will help writing. Oh yeah, I need to copy that later. If this was a trailer, so
Yeah,
this
like
would
a
be
$1 million budget trailer, sure.
so it will be one of those situations where it's like the trailer is like pans to our protagonist who is someone, and they're going for imagine if you're like booked for a very long extended business trip, like you work in say America, but well, congratulations, you need to go um to like Asia for 6 to 7 months just to get there. Like, this is and like potentially work over there and like disrupt your life for time, but you don't know where you're going. It's like a fish out of water situation, but think of it like you're in a seasoned fish, but you're going to a very different pond. I think that the best way to put it, if this was a trailer, uh, a fish out of water story. I think the best way, a whale going like, no, 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 you're not a heroic character. You are not a whale. A very scarred crab goes to a very bigger pond. I don't know. I don't know what is like battle scarred in like.
It's like a very scarred crab going.
Like I'm imagining like.
How many years has the crab been smoking? 25?
Well, okay. To be fair, I've been writing up an undead crab race, so it doesn't help that I've been thinking of that.
What? Okay,
Like
interesting.
I have, and their entire way of reproduction is literally fermenting.
That's hot. Anyway, not really.
Anyway, the point is, the kind of theme I'm going for is it's a bit like I don't know. Continue on, Meth.
I mean, I'm just trying to like I guess like what the scenario is. I just want to know more about the scenario. Like, is this like going to be?
Oh, what you mean the premise of the actual campaign of the one
Yeah,
shot? So
yeah,
the
yeah.
actual premise of the campaign is a business trip to Space Station Cromwell. Once a prominent, well, major part of the sector, effectively. Think, what would be a worldwide equivalent? Like it would be a seventh. It would be a wonder of the world. Like, hmm. I would say the best way to put it would be, no, it'd be like the Olympics. Everyone has like, but imagine if the Olympics was like, um, completely at one place and only that place. So if this was a sector-wide map, for example, Space Station Cromwell would be all the way right at the corner, like in the camera, like here, and you got the entire map from the rest of my camera view. Like Space Station Cromwell is very out of the way, but it was such an important location centuries ago that there are still roads and pathways to it. Like it was equivalent to the Silk Road, you know? Like even nowadays, if we look for it, we can find the Silk Road, like roads, were part of the Silk Road in real life. I think we can do that. I don't know. You're the historian, but you get my point, right?
Well, honestly, I think the the more apt description would probably be like pretty much any kind of modern mall that used to be like actually full of activity and people and things going on. But these days, you can find like a lot of abandoned malls or like malls that have very, very little activity
Yeah,
and
but
life
the
in them,
thing is,
really.
like the reason why I use the Silk Road as an example is because how significant it was, but on a like sector-wide
Sh-
scale.
sure, sure. But I guess you can like scale that to like a local community or like whatever,
That's true.
where all the roads.
But the scale's different. Like in the local mall, in the abandoned mall, you won't find like Chinese weaponry from like China. Like you won't
Actually,
find weird. Oh, and actually, you might from the you might. But I'm talking about authentic shit, not like the mall ninja shit. I'm talking about like yes, ancient Chinese sword. The idea is like yeah. Anyway, for the to continue the premise, to make this actually, why don't I just read the thing that I typed out? So yes, a business trip to Space Station Cromwell. You're an employee of Pumpkin Entertainment, a growing major planetary television company from the world of. That's up to you, Meth. Uh, Many citizens away to inquire about a number of issues, and if possible, stop them or get a cut for the company. This includes illegal broadcasting of the network shows within the Space Station Cromwell, including any subscription service that utilize the intellectual property, production of merchandise related to the intellectual property owned by the company, production and creation and filming of shows that are based on the company identical's intellectual property. The key issue is that the company isn't getting any income from these potential revenue sources, which, going by the accountant, is a sizable portion going by the data they have on hand. The data being gathered by means they won't elaborate on. Thankfully, Pumpkin Entertainment has a strong connection to Delta Banks, one of the three shareholders of the historic station. Yeah, which have provided a written letter for you to request aid from the station's government. The station itself is great important to the sector history. However, a long time downward decline started occurring centuries ago. Wonder if he thinks I'm stop talking because I need to read this out to him as well. The station itself is akin to a planetoid in size and one of its kind in the sector. At the height, it was a central hub of trade, technology advance, and the center of an economic boom for centuries. Even due to it, even due to its out of the way location, then shifted into the role of a first and final bastion, defending from a sector wide threat. Cromwell and its systems become a fortified hold and soon engulfed in war. And that was 300 years ago. In modern day, the station is a husk of its former self, if not even 1/3 of being at full capacity. Um, at at full capacity, the station can hold up to 25 million. There's there's basically 5 levels: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Denny, and Echo, and each one can hold 5 million people, or in theory hold five. Like
Wait,
it can hold.
wouldn't it be Delta? Not
It
Denny?
would,
Or am I?
but that would be naming it after Delta's bank.
Okay.
Denny Ring is it's very dangerous, and they don't want the bad PR.
I see.
Hey
Interesting.
man, they don't want the bad PR. But basically, the space station itself is very much a planetoid in size. It's bigger than the Death Star version 2, to give you an example. Think 40K sized space stations, like a heavy one.
I guess kind of like the Citadel from Mass Effect, if you've ever played those games.
I don't know how
Or-
many the Citadel can hold.
I don't know, but it's pretty big. Like it's millions for sure, from what I know.
I need to actually get the reference image for the space station, because there is one that I always use for it, and I've basically cemented that in my head. But to say the least, that this is where you're going. Like you are. That's the premise for the campaign, and this is where you're going. The historic space station. I've wrote up a bunch of stuff for the sector, and like mainly about the space station. Um, Basically, to use one way I've been thinking of doing is tell the rest of the sector through Space Station Cromwell. Kind of like, don't worry, I'm going with thoughts. Anyway, continue on. F.
I mean, it's like okay, so yeah, like the actual premise of the one shot, like
You're
what?
literally to send a cease and desist or get a cut for the company.
Okay,
In a way, you're
interesting.
essentially a lawyer slash like fixer, because it's such an out of way location. It's no point just sending just a message. They might as well send someone who
Can
is
resolve the issue.
capable to, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So in a way, like you work, like you're an employee of Pumpkin Entertainment. It depends. Like depending on what flavor of class you go for, it'd be interesting to explain why you work for an entertainment company. Um, because for classes you have uh, you have the expert, which is the classics, like skill monkey, or expert like specialist, or you've got the psychic, or the warrior, or the adventurer. And then you have the psychic no then you have the arcane versions of the expert and the warrior, which gives you access to the arcane foci, which are pretty cool, if I'm going to be honest. um well, for other arcane classes, you have god hunters, who are martial adepts specializing in hunting shadows and destroying shadow cults. And shadows effectively, think Cthulhu, that kind of stuff. Or you got Pactors, who are like basically summoners. A Rectifiers, who's like all about changing bodies. If you're familiar with Clan Sumitsi from Vampire the Masquerade, it's basically them in a nutshell. Or you got Sunblades, kind of a catch-all term for useful, like to depict mystical monks and stuff like that. Or you got a War Mage, but wouldn't really kind of work for this, kind of on their own character. Or you got Yama Kings, who are who follow a like traditional diplomacy, meditation, and occasional murder. Um, Basically, they're social magician, or wizards, if you will. But it's really up to you what you want to play, Meth. Like, I am interested to see. Well, how can I put it? I would love to see a god hunter for whatever the reason, because I wrote them up in the setting, or like wrote up that class for the setting, because they normally don't retire and become work for agencies, or you could be one of the independents. Anyway, point is, it's up to you what you want to play, or yeah.
Hmm. I actually really like the idea of like, and I kind of explained this before a little bit, but just a very like disgruntled, cynical, uh, like employee, uh, being sent to do this job, and it's just very. I mean, I don't know what exactly they would be in terms of like um, the hierarchy within the corporate, media conglomerate or whatever.
Probably an executive, if you want to like. You're level 4, you're experienced, but I don't know what the middle. I don't know what the corporate term for would be a fixer would be, like someone who is reliable enough to be sent out far away for the company interests.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like. I guess just a representative. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could have like a fancy title or some shit, but uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, but yeah, like whatever it is, I imagine like they're kind of like a middleman, um, for
So you're saying you're
company.
middle management.
Yeah, like just very much like
So this is an antagonist run then.
just like somebody who's like whittled down by years of experience working within like you know
That again, that
Right.
it's that you can, yeah, you can be a psychic and do that too, because psychics have like entire abilities that be like, okay, you can be a healer, you can
um
read minds,
honestly
or you
like
could
I don't.
or you could be a Yama King and be like, I can see lies and shit, and I'm just getting tired of this shit. Like it really it depends what kind of flavor of I'm tired of this shit. If you just want to go for the mundane, then I would say expert, just pure expert.
Yeah, like I think the vibe I'm getting right now with this kind of idea in particular would be for this kind of setting would be more of like more of a mundane. Like I don't really see them using like magic or any kind of psionic bullshit or whatever. I
Mm.
just want them to be like purely like whatever mundane s- tools, skills, and
That would be expert or warrior if you're more like combat. But if you want to be more jack of all traits, you want to go for adventurer, because then you can be partial stuff.
yeah, I mean that. So I don't think they're purely warrior. That's not the vibe I'm getting. I think they're either expert or like adventurer because like I imagine this guy's like um
I don't know. Have he like is I don't know. You can. The thing is, you can also be partial. You said you don't want to do any like magic stuff, so I can't really offer that stuff either.
partial. What do you mean? Is that a what kind of option is that?
Like it's similar to partial psychic, partial warrior, and so for the adventurer, you can basically adventurers split their focus between. Hold on. So so adventurers like basically pick partial of each class. So, but it's generally the weaker version, right? Like so for partial psychic, you can you're a restricted psychic. Pick one psychic discipline, and basically compared to a full class, you're not as strong. But at the same time, you're more of a skill monkey, like jack of all trades. If you go adventurer, if you want to be a expert warrior, sure.
Hmm. Okay.
Like if you want to represent your characters, like I had some combat experience in like my 20s, or like That's actually another question. What are you? What race are you? Is my question. Do you want to be human? And if you
I
want to be
mean,
human, do you want to be genetically modified? Do you have cybernetics? Because yeah, it's up to you.
man, I mean, just out of curiosity, what other races are there besides like human in this universe?
Completely original that I did not steal from any major franchises that I'm a really big fan of.
I'm guessing that's sarcasm.
No, maybe.
Okay.
You have. I need to find my documentation. I haven't read them all up, but I did write something for them. So there are a number of different races. So you've got humans, followed by the Stek, which are basically lizard men. Third race, it would be the Ukmak, which are rat humanoids. Definitely do not speak rat. Skaven. Then you have the Kreks, which are giant psychic snakes. And when I say giant snakes, they are quite literally giant snakes that are sentient and psychic, and most of the time, and quite a few other races all round. There is like an entire thing I've wrote up for the setting in general for the tech levels, but I am not going to. Well, I've got to show than tell, you know. So for races, you have rat men, but also genetic manipulation is in genetic manipulation has a checkered history in the sector. The most successful one is basically biological vampires, but it's not just limited to humans. It's in fact the inventor of that particular gene therapy went on to give it basically allow the Stek and other races to also be vampires, but they have their own breeds of shit, which we might not probably tap on today.
You know, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I recently watched Cyberpunk Edge Runner series.
Yeah, don't tell me anything because
Recently
I
came
haven't
out,
seen that.
and Blade Runner. I'm really feeling like the cyberpunk vibe. I guess is what I'm trying to say, and
That would,
I mean,
that would be an expert maybe with some cybernetics.
I'm thinking like human with like
I
cybernetics.
haven't seen Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh, you should. It's good.
Yeah, I know I should, but I'm not. I'm waiting for the expansion for Cyberpunk first. Because I know once I watch the show, I'm going to play the game. So I'd rather just wait.
Yeah. I thought genetic manipulation sounds pretty cool. Can I have both? Can I be both? Like
Probably, but I like the gene stuff is homebrew shit, I think, if I remember correctly. Probably is. But cybernetics is also definitely a part of the system. So you don't have to worry about that.
yeah, let's go with like okay, how about this? We'll go with let's just go with a human with cybernetics. Um I'm thinking they were like yeah, like in their
All I'm imagining is a very disgruntled, like, corpro. Like, a middle-aged corpro with cybernetics and just heavy smoking, like, just balding office attire. It's like, fuck, frick, where am I going now?
I think my guy was like very much an adrenaline junkie back in his younger days. Like just try to find
Explain the
opportunities
levels.
for yeah. And I think he definitely probably was like some kind of merc or something like that for some conflict or you know like it has shared its adventures. What I'm trying to say, right?
So you're telling
And
me, like, in his early 20s, he had a very crazy summer, or like very crazy, like 5 years, like, you know.
yeah, I mean, like their early life was definitely they were definitely like a daredevil, definitely adrenaline junkie, and just try to catch that next like high, basically, in
So
terms of.
why is he like now a corporate? Why does he
Yeah,
work for
so
corporate? Explain that to me. And just to
I
give you
mean,
reference, so you can make up your world. Like like I'm like yeah, it's up to you, my dude. Like it depends what kind of like kind of world or culture your character comes from. If you want to be like the whole cyberpunk kind of thing, like mega corporations, go right ahead. It's up to you. So yeah, I'm just giving you free reign here.
well, I mean, I think it's very simple. Like, uh, very simple story of when they were young. Again, they were just trying to explore, find adventure, right? Uh, find that adrenaline rush. Uh, do things right. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
live young, die fast. But uh, eventually that life does get boring. Actually, you know, you grow out of it in
I
a
will
way,
fucking
right?
kill this spider.
Whoa, strong language, buddy, for a
No,
spider that
seriously,
did nothing wrong.
it keeps coming back to insult
Good.
me.
I hope it
No, it
fucking
should die. I hit it 3 times now.
hashtag spider.
Like they're important for the environment, but they can be more important to the environment over fucking there.
Never give up. Be like the spider. This is an inspirational
No,
message right here.
if you're the spider, go be useful over there. Just not in my
Whoa.
in fucking vicinity.
The spider did nothing wrong, but anyways,
It existed in my environment. Look, if the
yeah,
giant spider was gigantic and I was in its environment, I'll be a fucking idiot because I'll probably be killed. If the scenario was switched, I'll be the dead one.
Listen, the spider is just like my character in their young years. Okay, they're very much looking for that adrenaline rush, hot in situation.
No, to be fair, with this setting, you could probably like I'm still writing it up. Like you can say like I'm a giant spider. Go ahead. They're in there now. Like, dude, there are giant snakes. There are giant snakes and another giant animal that I'm not gonna reveal.
I
But it's also an
mean,
important race.
I guess like you're fucking dude because you shat on that spider for no good reason. I'm gonna say that um like this is obviously a very much a sci-fi intergalactic kind of setting, right? So like you
For
probably
this
have humans. Yeah.
yeah, no, like there are like racism, but in this particular environment where you're gonna be, no, that doesn't exist. There are bigger things to worry about.
I guess I was just gonna say like there's probably like a lot of colonization going on in other planets, other solar systems, what have you, right? Sectors of the galaxy,
Yeah.
and just I imagine like wherever the people settle on whatever like kind of planet with its own specific environment, you'll have the natural evolutionary forces slowly change that population to adapt to the circumstances. You know what I mean? So I'm actually imagining that he is human, but like the colony, the kind of planet he came from, was one that slowly morphed the people to have more arachnid arachnid like attributes, like you know what I mean, like you know what I'm talking about. So they're kind of like half. They're becoming more spider-ish, a human
All I'm
spider.
imagining is the
Like,
dude like you. It could also be a failed gene therapy thing because that's also the reason why I say gene therapy is a checkered thing in the sector is like there were like very infamous incidents where entire population centers went just mutated like just the thing style
yeah,
or
like
40k style where like third arm.
yeah. I'm thinking like it's very much like oh, we're actually gonna would it be forced or
So are you? So is your character like a semi byproduct of a failed experimentation, like gene therapy? Are you from one of those planets?
Something like that, but like I'm thinking it was just something that like I'm thinking his character was part of like a like a
The reason why gene therapy is like so really bad is because it sneaks shit in the gene pool that you can't account for. So
right.
it could literally be you are somehow like you could be like, because in this setting, population is like travel is easy, like comparably. It's like flying international, depending on your particular government restrictions. Um, so yeah,
I'm just imagining like they're forced they have to like colonize and terraform this new planet, right? But it's a very hostile environment, a very hostile planet, and so they were basically coerced to do some forced evolutionary genetic mutation bullshit so that they can better adapt to the environment. Which in this scenario, for whatever arachnid traits was most beneficial. Like some of the top predators in this environment were exhibited arachnid traits and like strategies and
wouldn't it be the opposite? Like they're vulnerable to arachnid traits. Everyone's a sand type, but you go whatever is opposite of sand, like Pokemon.
mm,
You know, like if it's if it's a certain type, you go for the opposite. So that's why they like,
listen, buddy, I'm
introduce.
trying to play a hybrid spider
I'm just
human.
saying, like, I'm just saying, like, instead of like everyone was arachnid already there, wouldn't it make sense if they're not arachnid, but like you introduced basically the local predators were vulnerable to arachnid traits, and that's why you turned yourself into arachnids.
Oh yeah, sure we can. Yeah, okay, yeah, that
I
makes
don't know.
sense.
It's
Yeah,
up to you. I'm just trying to throw that angle. Do you want to go that way or the
yeah,
other
yeah.
way?
Like sure, we can do that. It doesn't matter. Like the point is
I don't
like
know. I
they
like the idea of like humans thinking, "Fuck it." The spiders think they can be the best spiders. Let's turn ourselves into spiders.
sure like
We will
whatever.
beat
Yeah,
them
we
at their
can.
own game. I don't know. It's up to you.
I mean, I don't particularly care too much about the specifics. What matters is that for whatever reason,
Mm.
that population that planet that was trying to colonize the planet, whatever, is they in order to better survive and actually thrive in that environment, uh, whatever I guess corporation was probably in charge of that charter, that endeavor, more or less kind of forced or coerced or
So the question is,
secretly genetically mutated. Yeah.
the question is then your planet then is everyone spider people, or
Yeah, yeah. Everybody from that planet come to colonize it basically exist to some extent or another exhibits traits of a arachnid.
so the question like when you say spider traits, do you mean like full on drider as in like bottom half spider, or do you mean like I just got really big teeth, or like what like
It could be a lot of all or nothing. Like some people probably actually they've been a, they've been introduced to whatever the genetic mutation was, but actually are asymptomatic in a way. So like they actually don't show anything. At least overtly, they show like I don't know, like traits that are not visible to the human eye. Really, like you really, you know what I mean? Like maybe
they're the lucky ones?
well, they're like in the sense that at least it's not visible, but like it's still they still very much have like I don't know, like I don't know, do spiders have blood, right, in their system? I
Yeah,
actually don't know, but
I don't know.
like something about their internal physiology
I know they're like
became more spider-like.
hydraulics.
I don't know, like you see, I'm actually I don't know much about spiders now to think
Yeah, me
about it, but
neither.
like,
But anyway, anyway, so the question is then, what is your character then?
hmm.
What traits do he exhibit?
I mean, are we literally talking about like mechanically? Like what would
We can
be
sort out mechanically later in chat to work out the exact balance
okay?
and stuff.
Ooh, I mean, oh, there's a lot of good ones. I mean,
But also the
you could
question is, it doesn't really matter Like if you're big dried up, people will not. It, where you're going, it's like okay. It's like
Yeah,
another,
yeah.
like, just another thing. But
Right.
like, where you're going, it's more like, are you trying to kill anyone? No, good.
Mm. Yeah,
Like,
as for him, I think I really like the idea of multiple eyes. You know what I mean?
so what,
Like more
like,
than two eyes.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. And like, and he has like cybernetic bullshit to even enhance those eyes that are like,
That's cool. Like, so basically
yeah,
6 eyes, but like 2 of them are
yeah,
cybernetic.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
really
yeah,
fucking cool.
yeah, like,
There's like mind games. Which, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
sure. But is
yeah, like
he,
something like that.
but is he a humanoid, or does he have like
Yeah. So
spots?
very much humanoid, but like I'd say like for him specifically, the how the genetic mutation manifested phenotypically and biologically into his body specifically is the extra eyes basically. I think that makes
Okay.
sense.
I just had a random thought. So does okay, no, that's just detailed shit I'm gonna write up later because that's actually quite interesting about that race. Okay, continue
Yeah.
on.
And yeah, so and basically that helps with perception, right? And
Okay.
reflexes and yeah, perception basically, which has helped them with being actually a pretty good uh like uh like gunner basically. You know what I mean? Um so he shoots very well, very fast, very perceptive of his environment, right? Like very this is all useful for situations where shit hits the fan basically, you know what I mean? Which just help with his excursions and like
God
I don't know, being a
damn, that's a
fucking
bad
merc or some
idea, but
shit.
I'm stealing that. So I just wrote
Damn.
down a thought that
Nice.
I'm gonna forget in a minute.
um, but yeah, so I think that's that. I honestly aesthetically, the extra eyes with cybernetic enhancements, something about that really is cool aesthetically, and it also makes sense in terms of like what mechanically how it could help my character. Them being basically a former, you know, mercenary or some shit, you know. Uh, yeah, I think that makes sense. And also just like spiders in general are very much uh um what's the word
Fuck you, spider. I hope you
are
dead.
symbolic of being secrecy and uh thinking one step ahead or like the whole like webs and stuff like knowing what comes next, which is very much like the kind of cunning you need to thrive in a corporate environment. So I think that also channels well into that.
So is it? So
um
is your? So would you say your spider planet is run by corporations?
I mean, I imagine like a lot of places in this setting in this universe are probably like
That's a
I
few
imagine
probably.
corporations are like pretty powerful, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're quite powerful. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like yeah, of course, like they have like entire planets probably, and like
But there are
oh
like
there
there
are.
are tiers of corporations though. Like you've got planetary, you know.
I'm thinking like Weyland Yutani from like the Alien series, like that kind
That
of
would be
shit.
more like Delta Banks
Really? Okay.
in the sense of Delta Banks is kind of it's all like when you think of like a very important bank, they're kind of like the first ones, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
I've wrote them up somewhere. Um,
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's some shit where like somebody else tried to colonize this place, but they went bankrupt, and now Delta Banks has it, and they're like, "Well, what the fuck are we gonna do with this
totally
now?"
possible. Yeah, totally possible. It's
It's
done
like
before.
some,
It's yeah, it's been
yeah.
done before. Like they've known for like like Delta banks and like other like similar banks who can like afford it. Basically, take a really shit planet like a TL2 or TL1 planet and just convert it into like a TL4 or like build up the infrastructure or tech level and for a few strings attached, you know, like
Yeah, yeah. It's like
for like very minor things, you know.
yeah, like I imagine just like, okay, how can we like turn a profit on this shit, and
Yeah,
slowly, but
like yeah, like they are like they have a piece, they have a part, like they're involved in some level in terms of economics for in terms of sector level. While
hmm,
for the Pumpkin Entertainment, they're like a major a growing major planetary corporation. Think
okay, sure.
think Disney.
I mean, that's exactly
Yeah, it
what
really
I had
is
in mind,
Disney. In
honestly.
this scale, it's like it's literally Disney because they own like seriously, look it up. They own far too much currently
I,
in terms of
yeah,
media.
don't have to tell me, man.
But essentially, you work for Disney, so you are kind of playing a criminal character already. Um,
Yeah.
I had to. Come on, it's the mouse. But yeah, you are essentially working for Disney, a a very major contender in a like very important system or planet, and they've basically got like they're connected to Delta Banks. At that level, they have to at least be on talking terms at least.
They're called Pumpkin
And
Entertainment, right?
huh?
Are they called Pumpkin Entertainment? Is that what it is?
Yes, Pumpkin Entertainment
So their mascot
because
is a
that was
pumpkin.
well, it was literally the first thing. I didn't know you were gonna go for like spider people, so I just kind of went for pumpkin because it was the first thing that went in my mind.
Okay, um, that's fine. Like,
Um, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, essentially through means that you don't know, um, Pumpkin's accountants have acquired information like money's like serious money could be earned at this like faraway location. They won't tell you how they got the information, but they want you to go sort it out.
well, I mean, just to be clear, I don't think they have to own, uh, like the planet, right?
No,
Like Pumpkin
no.
Entertainment is like somewhere else. Like I'm just like my character
Yeah,
just
like you.
hails from like a place. You know what I mean? Just to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
very
you
clear.
can be just from a place. You can literally be anywhere. You want to be from generic cowboy planet, sure, but you like moved a few planets away or systems away. It's up to you. Like it can be completely up to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just asking, like, oh, is the mascot now like a Halloween pumpkin or some shit? Yeah.
No, the
You know what I
idea
mean?
is like basically, Pumpkin is like Disney in terms of like they've bought a bunch of properties and like
Yeah, but like, what is their mascot like? Like the mouse is Disney's mascot. Like, what
it's
is?
a pumpkin. Yeah, it's a pumpkin.
Yeah, yeah. But like, what is it? Like a Halloween pumpkin or like what? You know what I mean? Like,
I'd say it'd be like nah. Would it be a stylized? Don't know. Would it be like a misappropriate like Halloween symbol? Like like, no one nowadays you see like a stylized Halloween pumpkin, like with a grin, and I think that could work because they see it as something positive, but it's not really when you look at the like terms of language.
maybe it's like a scarecrow, but like with the head being a pumpkin, like a Halloween pumpkin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I, yeah, that could work. I'll be honest, I didn't think too much about the company.
What? This is like the important detail, bro. Come on.
Well, I've
It's
been
the
writing
world
more
building. This is what
about the
world building is
station
about.
itself, about the entertainment sector in it, or the entertainment culture in it. That's what I've
Okay.
been writing about.
All right, fair enough.
Because
Fair enough. Write that down. Write that down.
don't worry, man.
Um,
I have.
yeah, and um, I guess you ask why did my character would end up eventually being like a fucking just another corporo for another corporation or whatever.
Yeah, like again, you're level 4.
Yeah,
You
I
are
mean,
you've seasoned.
yeah. So as I said, like that kind of lifestyle that my character would have lived through early years. Eventually, you get bored. You get. I mean, he gets old. Like he's no longer in his prime, right? That's just
Mm.
old age. What happens, and also like thoughts of like settling down and like getting not as energetic before. Just kind of like how in real life, we just as you grow older, you just have, at least for a lot of people, not for everybody, but like for a
So
lot of
what was
people,
he?
they
So what was he
just
doing
settle
in his
down.
active years then, if you mind me asking? What was he doing?
Oh, I mean, yeah, just like, uh,
To give you some, if you want to like interconnect it with the system, with the setting, you've got hmm, there are major religions that you could have been a part of. Um, there have been crusades, both good and bad, violent and non-violent.
I definitely
Um,
know he's been in some kind of conflict, fighting in some kind of
okay.
conflict. Okay.
So do you have any experience with shadows? Is my question. Shadows
With,
being like think Eldridge, like kind of shit like that.
I mean, maybe.
In his like I'm asking if would he have um like during his adventures would shadows be a part of it at all, or would it be like no I'm just like it'd be like a shadow runner from well yeah Shadowrun like oh yeah I've just experienced magic and guns but not like stuff like that. It depends, like, or just the mundane of guns and bullets, but none of the
I mean, he
magical stuff.
certainly could have had, I guess, supernatural encounters like that. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm asking, like, I don't know if you're like, I'm asking kind of like, what was your character like? What in a sentence? What was their like? How would you attribute like their heydays?
Hmm. How would I attribute my
Yeah,
character's
the best
heydays?
way. Sorry, my words are really confusing. Basically, say like, did he just go join a war or like single war or two wars?
So what I imagine is like they're doing. They would definitely join at least like a conflict or two or whatever.
Hmm.
Just purely for the adventure. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so it's not like they had like some ideological or principled stand to fight for a cause or whatever. No, no, no. They very much did it for for the experience itself,
So
the
quite
adventure.
literally, join the army
Yeah,
and
and for
experience.
money, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, for the money, why
Okay,
not?
so you're okay. So that was his kind of early like okay, and so eventually he decided to settle down or just go. I need to
Yeah,
settle
yeah, like
down.
that kind of life is not really sustainable. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's something you do.
I wanna kind of throw a curveball at you, but it kind of is because gene therapy and regeneration treatments are possible, more cybernetics. So you can, in theory, stay in the game. So why didn't he? Because you can't say
Okay, sure.
yeah, you
Okay.
can't say he like if he was like he was level 4. Like if you stay in the game long enough, like Adam Stasher or like something like that, you can like still stay in the game. So why did like if he wanted to continue, he could have. I would think. I don't know. It's up to you. But
If that's the case,
he had the
then
options to regain like some youth. It's not permanent, but you know.
okay. Then I have okay. If that's the kind of situation, then I think he leaves that life behind because um
Like to give you an like it could have been it could be that the treatments weren't working anymore, like the youth treatments, if you want to go by that angle, because your genetic makeup is so fucking well unique and an abomination. Don't want to be rude, but if you want to go that angle,
what do you
that the
mean
treatments
by
aren't
you
working
people?
anymore. So you're not like getting younger anymore. You can't keep up. But it also could be that you don't want to continue it. It's, again, I'm just throwing out angles.
I mean, I think that makes sense. Sure.
So you would say that he wanted to stay in the game if he could.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So it's more of like so then my question is How long was he active in terms of his heydays? As in, he's like, my misbegotten youth.
Fuck, like
Because in
I
terms
know.
of
I
gene
guess
therapy, it can last like conventional gene therapy depends, but lasts about 150 max,
Jesus.
depending.
All right. I say my guy could be like centuries old by the time we start.
Not centuries. No, he's only level 4.
I mean, I don't know how old could my guy be when we
50,
start the actual
60
one shot.
to 80. I'm
Jesus.
giving
All right.
it's a sandbox, my dude. Like there's the
Oh,
setting that
Jesus.
I want to kind of create is a yeah. Up to you what you want to do. Like he could, but I do want you to realize that he can be old, but he's still like. I'm using the level as kind of a benchmark of like how seasoned is he, like how what kind of shit has he survived and what goals he's done. So just keep that in mind as well. But he could be like very old or just like very old in character, in game, or not. It's up to you. But no older than a few centuries. Like I'd say, like up to max 600 years, but that's it won't be that useful
Okay.
as knowledge because I still need to write up most of that.
I
But
think
yeah,
then
yeah.
my guy's been. I mean, I don't know, I guess like my guy was probably active for like several decades for sure.
So you would say a century of like. So you would say century like he's about a century old roughly or lesser.
No, I think he's more like let's say he like started like around his 20s or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say by the time we start, he's like in his 60s, probably something like that. So like
So
roughly 40 years. Yeah.
oh okay.
Mhm.
And so he stopped like so just to confirm he actively stopped that life or he was unfortunately couldn't continue it.
Actually, I
Because
think now I think about it, I think he stopped that life not because he couldn't continue it, but because he actually got bored of it and wanted to start a new chapter in his life, one where he's like
okay, that's interesting.
settles down with his girlfriend, wife, what have you, like the love of his life, presumably, and like wants to have kids. What like he really like? I think yeah, like he.
It's the plot of Nobody. You're literally the plot of Nobody. It's
I
literally
haven't
the
seen that.
plot
What?
of Nobody.
What?
It's the main character, the guy who plays Better Call Saul or Saul Goodman. That is literally the character you just said. That's
Oh
literally his
shit.
backstory. Like
Okay.
big high and flying like special agent, like death incarnate, saw a target, like have a happy family for I want that and fucking like, yo, handlers, I'm out. And they left and he went and have a family.
Yeah, I think it's
literally
that,
that plot. I'm not
and just
it's
like
a good plot.
I mean, he just got like after 40 years of that kind of shit. Anybody would fucking grow bored of it. Like, come on, you know? Like even somebody like him who is predisposed to living that lifestyle would just get bored of it, right? And, like after 40 years. You know what I mean?
Fucking
Yeah,
hell. All right,
I think
sure.
that's perfectly natural, you know, like and he just wanted
Yeah,
something else in
perfectly
his life.
natural.
Perfectly natural.
Okay, so he had no trouble of like getting gene treatments or anything like to keep up with it. It's literally he chose to, nah, I'm gonna just retire or just
Yeah,
like
and
do another life.
also the actual reality of statistically, you know, at some point this kind of lifestyle, you're going to die. Like, you know, like you are you're very high risk for the kind of stunts
Okay,
and actions and
and
activities you do,
and
right?
and so he's just basically an expert, effectively. just like all mundane skills and
Well, I think
cybernetics.
he. I think I do want him to have at least some combat skills, right? That he has still retained even after all these years. Because, like, I mean, that's like a lot of what he
Again,
did.
if you're playing a full expert, so let me look at the. Hold on. Yeah, you can't take a combat oriented focus. And also be careful of shock damage, because melee weapons will kill you in this very quickly. Once per once per scene, you can reroll a failed skill check. I'm trying to see if you have any more ways to buy more skills. You get a bonus skill point that may be spent on any non-combat, non-psychic skill. Yeah, okay, yeah. So as an expert, you can basically have more skills compared to the other classes. But it also depends on your foci, what you want to have as your foci, because that is like think of feats in terms of like usefulness, but it's just as rare if you want to think in D&D terms.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how mechanically the system works exactly, and how we can like just fucking mold the character to the mechanics, but like just purely in terms of concept. Um. Yeah, I mean, I guess like once he actually enters his new life, new chapter in his life, and becomes well, so basically like this for this kind of person, uh, they definitely want a new chapter in their life, but they don't want to exactly transition. It's not like a complete transition exactly. Um, so I think his interest in then working uh, for like a corporation, like climbing the corporate ladder in that sense, like that's still like because I'm still imagining like he still wants
Well,
that like
I
adrenaline
can
and
like the thing
you
is you
know
can easily be a hacker. You're like, I've got like to give you an example, you could be like, during my heydays, I was like a really good technician or hacker. I can hack anything. Okay, I want to settle down corporate. Okay, I'm a technician now. Just a simple IT technician. Like something that kind of vibe. How would he translate his like heyday like skills into corporate?
well, I think so. It's not just corporate, like any kind of corporation. This is specifically a media corporation, you know.
Yeah. So
So
in
like,
terms of if you want to look at this actual skill list, that could be talk if you're like really good at that during your like stuff like that, or perform.
I mean, we have to trace it back to like why the fuck is he even sent to Cromwell Station to, you know what I mean? So
Oh
clearly
yeah,
he's
true.
like, so clearly he. It seems to me that he is very much a problem solver, to say the least.
Yeah, he's trusted
Um,
enough to look out for the company's interest on
so
his
I
own.
think I think I imagine for this kind of role, it does involve being like an investigator of some sorts. You know what I mean?
That
I
would
think that
be
makes sense.
okay. So during your heyday, you were like the know guy, the guy who knows things,
I mean, he
or
was just. I
investigate.
think he's more like a investigator slash compliance kind of guy. Yeah, I think that makes
Uh,
sense.
that would be connect.
He enforces compliance because, like, clearly when it comes to like copyright issues and illegal blah blah blah, like I think he's very much like I think I mean this is like I'm imagining a dystopian. Obviously, this is like a dystopian future sci-fi setting where
In this particular,
corporations.
no, 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 no. In this particular, no, in this particular like setting, Cromwell, corp like it's more of a different government, but in this setting as a whole, it's a hodgepodge. Think of a Stellaris game. You might have a corporate government over there, or you might have a monarchy over there. You have very different terms of rules of government around. It's not just one flavor and in the sector as a whole.
I think he's like. Have you played those Syndicate, the Syndicate games, where it's like it's a game about like competing corporations fighting for supremacy, right? Which often involves sending agents, saboteurs.
Yeah, you could be from a planet that is essentially the Syndicate planet. Like, as in that you could be an agent, a corporate agent who was.
Yeah, like I think he's like basically. I think he's part of the corporate espionage division, right? But
Okay.
not just that, but also for like investigating and enforcing compliance, which probably also involves literally killing people. you know?
No, yeah, it's Disney. This is like future
Yeah.
Disney. Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
no,
he's
it's modern Disney. Obviously, people are gonna die
yeah. So I think he's very much like
to make the mouse money.
yeah. He's the guy who gets shit done, right? He finds the
Okay.
people who's wronged the corporation in any way and deals with them accordingly. You know? Uh, yeah. He's like yeah. Basically, he's like an enforcer, investigative, espionage, intelligence, and
And like no
gatherer.
special other like no psychic stuff. So yeah, like in terms of skills, you would probably yeah, it depends what your like character will be specialized in. But let's look at backgrounds and so for the actual we should actually start. Are you in the game, Myth? You need to roll your stats.
I actually. Oh yeah. let me get on that real quick. No, not rolls. Come on, let's roll 20. Get it right.
Mm. So a um a focus that you might like for something for the later. A focus that you might be interested is called Henchkeeper. It essentially lets you pick up a henchman.
Okay, I mean, I feel like he's the kind of guy who does his work solo, to be honest. But I suppose not impossible.
Oh yeah, that's if you wanted to go with that kind of characters. Like, okay, I can just find henchmen anywhere. But if you wanted to go for,
I mean, I guess that could work too, though. I mean, sometimes he deals with personally. Sometimes he needs some scapegoats. Yeah, I mean, I guess that could
yeah,
work. Sure.
assassin. So the type of character you're playing, Die Hard, no, diplomat. You said Ronnie Shift and intelligence. No. You could be a hacker.
I mean, I feel like he would probably know some tools of the trade
But he's not a
regarding.
complete, you know.
But I don't think he's like his shtick
I
is
can
hacker.
I can see us like a PC and just turn it off. Amazing feat. But yeah, so he's not like a specialist in terms of hacking.
I mean, I guess he could be. I guess like I, I would have to kind of know what the alternatives are. Like is this regarding to like his foci or like?
So the foci kind of like allows you to specialize your character. Focus are essentially hold on. Yeah, it's every member of a class has certain baseline abilities that let them choose their role. But focus is the additional knack or perk that just makes it a little bit more special for your character. So yeah, in terms of focus, if you're like the corporate espionage
I think he's more like a
investigating,
detective, honestly.
okay. Let me look for them then. Assassin, connected, die hard healer. Don't you speak all languages? No. Gunslinger. Sniper's just hilarious. And evil. Good training, staff bearer. I can't. I haven't really found anything for like investigating or focus. Just surprising. You there, Mev?
Yeah, I'm here. Just
Okay, so
thinking.
yeah, are you in the game? So
Yeah, I'm in the game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So first things first, 3d6, 6 times. And you do have the choice of choosing the array, which is 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, and a 7.
What do you mean by that exactly?
What's holy shit, you got a 14. What's your stats, attributes?
Okay, so first I should just roll my 6
Yes.
3d6s. Okay.
Yeah, 3d6. Roll that 6 times, please, or 5 more times. Right, okay, and you did get a terrible roll. I'll allow for 1 free reroll, but you need to still roll.
So those were 6.
Do you want to reroll the 7?
Sure, if you allow it. I think
7
it was.
It is then.
I think it was ordained to be 7. Yeah.
So yeah, what stat does your character suck in?
Ah, fuck. What are the 6 stats?
You do see the your character sheet. Do you see your character sheet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. There we go. It wasn't there before, but now I see it. Okay. Okay. So we had strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Hmm. I'm not exactly sure what affects what in this system. I mean, I know generally what they could mean. Like, what does wisdom affect, actually?
If you go by the wisdom is noticing things, making judgment, reading situations, and intuition.
That's actually pretty important.
I swear, I'm getting like police sirens in the back. You never want to get that stuff. You got charisma, constitution, speed. No, dexterity. So which one do you want? Like, how would your guy be arranged? What's he good at?
So charisma is like obviously social situation stuff. Anything
Intelligence is memory, reasoning, technical skills. Genuine education. Constitution is hardiness. Dexterity is speed, evasion. Strength is physical prowess, melee combat, and stuff like that.
Hmm. I mean, I feel like the easy one would be just put that 7 in charisma, but
You will have like as you have a 7, it is a -1, which is quite
yeah.
a big thing in this system because you only got currently +1. But since you are level 4, you can probably get rid of that negative at some point, or through some
I don't know. I mean,
reason.
do you have any recommendations?
Honestly, I don't know what your dude is, but you can probably get rid of like the negative. I think through by leveling up or by getting a growth, but I don't think that is the case. Let me check.
I mean, I guess I'll just go with like strength. I mean,
So was he a melee combatant?
I think it was more into guns. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can go with strength.
Okay, we'll go for strength then.
So strength is 7. Then we have the next one, which is 11.
Mm-hmm.
Which wouldn't really give me a bonus. It would just be a +0 still,
No,
right?
yeah, no. The only bonuses only apply on the 14th and like 18.
Okay.
So you do have one bonus at the moment, like +1 to a like certain statistic,
Yeah.
which could be intelligence, wisdom, if you want to be like I see things.
I do see things. Wait, with the 14, would I get a +2?
No, one.
Yeah, all right.
This system works a like little bit different than D&D.
Okay. And this +1 is like an extra die? Is that?
No, it's an extra +1 to your like to whatever you're rolling. So say if you're rolling administrator with your wisdom, that would be like a +1. Oh, hold on, I don't. Come on, roll. Oh, that's why. So yeah, like that'd be a 7. No, because you've got to turn off the editor mode. But yeah, that'd be a 7 because it adds +1 from the wisdom. But you won't really use it with administrator that for that, but depends. They know how you can know how in like D&D can use different basically you can use like intelligence, like the attribute you can use like skills, like administrator you can use wisdom to be like, ah, yeah, this company screwed up because of that, learning like from the past. Or you could use intelligence to be like, no, that doesn't work because of this. It doesn't mathematically work. This is a bad business model. So there is element of that, but you can't really say use Constitution Administrator together. Well, unless you somehow can give me like a good reasoning for it, I would like to know, because I would like to like do that in the future too.
I mean, if you pull like an all-nighter for like... that makes sense. That makes sense.
Maybe.
What else would it be?
I don't know, honestly. By the way,
Exactly.
can you hear that in the background?
What? Hear what?
You can't hear anything in the background from what I'm speaking.
No, I just hear your voice.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I think I slotted all the amounts.
Yeah.
So 7 for strength, 13 for dexterity, 10 for constitution, 13 for intelligence, 14 for wisdom, 11 for charisma. Now modifiers, they basically all are +0, except -1 for strength, of course, and a +1 for wisdom.
Oh, so you can improve an attribute. It just will add +1 to the so the first time my PC improves an attribute, it costs 1 skill point and adds +1 to the attribute of their choice. In this case, you can get rid of that negative in strength if you really want to. But as you're an expert, you have like spare skill points. You literally are drowned in them as an expert.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to tell you so that you know if that's an option, if you want to get rid of the strength, like weakness, if you will. But in the next thing, we should pick since we have done your attributes, we now have to do your background. And that is...
All right.
It starts on page 9. Obviously, we can like change it a bit if you want, to represent your like where your character's from and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
But read the like choosing a background part, and we can go through the process.
Barbarian. I mean, soldier probably makes the most sense, honestly.
So a soldier.
I'm trying to look at if there's anything else that would make sense. And this is like the background.
Looking at maybe criminal, a thief, a rogue, a liar, or worse, middle management.
Oh boy, no, not anything but middle management.
A spacer. Spacer is, but that won't work. Are you a pilot? Like you could be the driver.
I mean,
if you want to go with that kind of like flavor for your character.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I guess driver during his heydays.
That is a pretty high octane situation to be in.
Oh yeah, and you can like, and since you're like, if you are like, since you are an expert, you can easily go for like specialist foci to make you that good, better at piloting. But in that case, then I would recommend instead, if you want to go with that kind of backstory, I would recommend putting that 14 into dexterity. Like, but at the same time, why would they? Probably because they trust you. Yeah.
I don't think it would be because they trust me. I mean, they trust
Well,
my
trust in the
interests, I
sense
think.
of like, yeah,
They trust my self-interest.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, you can be like the Baby Driver if you want to go buy that movie.
Yeah.
And that's like your then that could easily explain your flavor of like what you were known back in your head, like back in your active days. You know, it doesn't mean that because again, like when we like again, I'm kind of having the impression like during your hate, like why would they hire like a getaway driver as like this fixer? I'd say it still probably works because like you're an expert and you were just known to be like the driver, and also getting away. Like you were known for your sick piloting skills, to say the least. If you want to go like for that long route of what you were known for.
The thing is, like, why would they send me to find this cease and desist?
Well, that's the
You
thing.
know what I mean?
So it could also be something that your character doesn't really understand himself.
Okay. Okay.
Like he's
Interesting.
got his marching orders, and he like I would say if you like ask your like contacts in the like your other like allies, friends, or colleagues in the corporation, they'll be like we've seen the data. There is money being made, but we're trying to. If you try to ask them for more information on it, they'll be like, we're trying, but nothing. And it's kind of like think of office politics in a way, in that you've kind of got the short end, and you have to, you know. Is there an element? Is there more? Is there more to it? I don't know. It's up to you. Well, no, it's not up to you. It's like, is there more? Like, I don't know. Up to you to find out.
Maybe vagabond, actually.
Sorry,
A vagabond.
a vagabond
Hmm.
roaming without a home. Were you a courtesan?
Courtesan? I mean, not really.
A dilettante?
No.
So yeah, it's up to you, man. Like merchant.
I mean, I guess a pilot does make sense.
It's I don't want to like force what kind of character you want to play. So yeah, like you could be an official. Administrator, connect, talk, any skill, combat. Official could work. I wouldn't explain your. Well, no, you could do. You just picked up the skills.
Criminal also works, though.
Yeah. Are you? No, yeah, no, that could work if you're like a spy or something. Combine that with like a higher, like a lot of notice. Then yeah, you can just get in and out. Especially if you've got hack as well, or program, which is in this particular case. If you want to be like someone like a Sam Fisher, if you will, then I would say you would need a little bit of program and a lot of sneak. So yeah, I would say get a lot of sneak. So yeah, I'd say criminal could work.
Hmm. Yeah, I suppose so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with
So
criminal.
you're gonna go for criminal. So your free skill is sneak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you want to go for growth or learning? Because I think you can roll for them. Hold on, let me just check. Uh,
Isn't that the same? When you learn, you grow as a person.
hold on, give me a moment. Unfortunately, I do feel I do kind of want to end soonish because I'm getting hungry.
It's fair.
As it gets a 15. No skill. Hold on. If you had to put, you could just write down for them. Oh, okay. So yeah. He gets. I think he gets another and. Just to table for a scholar. Ah, okay. So the question is, what is random wrong? So do you want to choose? Do you want to choose two more skills or just like roll for three?
Oh.
I think that's what I'm seeing here. So you can get three random rolls, like the three random rolls split between growth and learning. Or
What
you
does
could
growth
just
and
pick
learning
two.
do again?
Growth allows you to +2 to mental, +2 to physical, +2 to another mental, or +1 to a stat, or gives you the connect skill, or gives you any skill. While learning gives you a number of different like skills.
Fuck it, we'll do growth. Why not?
You've got three roles to split between them if you want to go by that route.
Sure.
So roll a d6.
Okay.
+2 mental, which would be, I think, your mental save. It's actually your mental save because that's actually really good. Losing my mind.
Another 4.
Oh no! So you got +2 mental, so you can increase one of your mental statistics. Another 4. So do you? How much do you want to increase your wisdom or intelligence by?
Like, I mean,
Because you can at the moment, since you've got your 14 into
I
your
think
14 into
intelligence because
wisdom.
I want to get that +1, right? I think it makes sense.
Honestly, you're you can, if you put it into wisdom, you can have a +2 into wisdom,
Oh, really?
or you can put the
Well,
+2 or the +18 into intelligence instead.
well, hold on. So I got 2 4s, right? So that's like two,
Yeah, you got
two,
two
two
fours.
+2s.
You got two fours, right? It's basically a +4 into a mental stat, either intelligence or wisdom. I can allow you to switch your current stats of intelligence and wisdom around because it's a 14 and a 13. So to give you the option of having an
Can't
18
I
get
just do
into.
+2 to either? +2 to
Yeah,
both?
you can if you want. No, you can't. You can. Yeah, you can do that in terms of +2 to both, as into intelligence and wisdom. If you want to do that,
Yeah, I think
it
that
gives
makes
you
sense.
it gives you a +1 into intelligence. Um, and yeah. Oh, we both did it. And if you get that, and if you roll again, If you want to get any learning stuff.
Actually, I have one more roll for growth.
Yeah, you only have one roll left.
Which is a 1.
That it's a 1d8. Unless you
Wait,
don't want to.
Were they all 1d8s?
No, like this one is 1d8.
Oh.
You have the unless you want to roll on learning, which is if you roll on the learning table, you get administrator, any combat skill, connect, or notice, program, sneak, talk, or trade, and that's a 1d8 to get either one of those skills. Or you can go for d6 again and try to get more, like improve your stats more potentially. But you need to roll again either on the growth table or the learning table. Growth table is a d6 and the learning table is a d8. Hello?
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I guess I'll go with learning. Sure.
Okay, roll another d6. No, another d8, please, for learning.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
A 3, which is connect.
Yep.
To give you reference, connect is find people who can be helpful to your purposes and get them to cooperate with you.
Okay.
I can't read any more because I don't really want to read it all out because it's the actual,
Right. Okay.
But you can use connect in place of talk for persuading people you find via the skill. So it is useful, quite useful.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
Oh yeah. Okay.
In fact, I
next,
might even want to actually switch the strength to charisma.
What?
I might want to put the 7 in charisma actually, because if I have that connect,
if you want,
I don't necessarily have to talk to people to get what I want. Is that an accurate assessment?
In a way, but it will definitely look. If you want to go renegade for every speech option, it will definitely close doors and open some.
Okay. We'll just leave it at that then. So hi, Cat. How's it going? Yeah. But yeah, +1 to connect.
Which should give you a 0. Have you been adding these?
I've added the intelligence to wisdom. But where's the connect? Is that a skill?
Yeah. Don't worry, I've added it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you've got connect and so you've done your background. So you are a criminal.
Damn. Who knew?
Yep, okay. Okay, so you have to now choose your class. So write down your expert abilities.
Yeah, I guess so.
What cat?
I could still get like a combat skill, right? Somewhere.
Yeah,
Can I
you
get a
can still learn a
combat
combat skill.
Okay, sure.
You're a skill monkey. You have a lot of skill points to, write down. Like
it's good to hear. Yeah, what page is it for the expert?
What's that?
What page is the expert?
What again? The skills.
Yeah, like what the skills does the expert give me, or do I choose? Does it give me like?
Yeah, like if you look at the class, it gives you. You gain a free level in a non-combat focus related to your background. Most concept will take specialist in their main skill, though diplomat, starfarer, healer, or some other focus might suit better. You can't take a combat-oriented focus. In the case of uncertainty, ask me. Once per scene, you can reroll a failed skill check, taking the new roll if it's better. When you advance on a level, you gain a skill point, a bonus skill point that you can be spent on any non-combat, non-psychic skill. You can save this point later if you wish. So you got like skill points to spend. And since you're level 4, you have quite a few that you can, well, yeah, spend and level up.
So from reading here, they can spend both.
I do want to say though, might have to finish soon because I am actually getting pretty hungry.
The flesh is weak.
I want to sleep. I want to sleep properly tonight.
The flesh is weak.
Yeah, I'd rather sleep properly.
Where?
Sector creation. No. What did I want to look for? Yeah, that's what I want to look for. So to give you some idea for skill check difficulties, if I ask you for a 6, it's irrelevant. Like if I want you to roll, say, give me administration to figure out these files or something, I would ask you for like 6, like for difficulty checks. It's a really simple. Do it in your regular background. While 8 is more like significant challenge to a competent professional. So if you're a getaway driver, it's getting away while the police is like chasing you. While 10 is like getting away from like, no, well, 12 would be trying to get away with a wanted star of 5. Anything plus that is just bragging rights. What my point is that you can become like you can get your bonuses really high if you really want to, or like very much focus in type 1 skill if you really want to.
Okay.
But be aware though, the higher you go, the more meaning it has. So if you have a somehow put a plus, if you're somehow a +4 in connect or administrator, like for instance, if you got it +4 into admin, you're basically Jarvis or someone who can just admin really well. I don't know what is the best way to. Good example. Actually, a good example would be like Hannibal somehow managing an army with like who can all speak different languages and still have it all organized properly. That would be admin. Or would that be more warfare? Anyway, point is like it's up to you what you want to do. Yeah.
It'd be like governing a planetary empire in like the Middle Ages or some shit, ancient times.
Yeah, but I think it'd be a good point if if we come back to this and maybe you read some more like for the focuses, so that maybe if we do this again we can finish the character gen, because again I am just hungry.
The flesh is weak.
Fuck you,
But no,
I'm
I
hungry.
suppose.
I've only had a single bacon sandwich. Do you know how?
Listen,
how like?
Buddy, you
that
already have
is?
your food with you. Right there.
What, my cat?
Yeah.
What, Peanut? Oh no, he doesn't want to be held.
Yeah, you don't like peanuts?
Hmm?
You don't like peanuts?
Well, the thing is, I do like peanuts. I've got peanuts right here.
Yeah, chow on
Yeah,
those, motherfucker.
yeah, I can't eat them though, because all my drinks are fizzy.
Oh,
If I drink that and eat peanuts, my appendix will explode.
how's that bad though?
I could die.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
it generally
joking.
sucks.
How do you know? You haven't died before. How do you know? That sucks.
I don't know. I just know.
Hmm?
I go sleep
Okay.
every night.
All right. Well, how about this? How about yeah, okay, we can kind of finish it off screen here.
Well, we've got the well, yeah, we could finish off screen or pick up later. Yeah. Well, we've been running for how long?
140, an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, that's not that long. Hmm.
It feels like it, but it's not.
Yeah, and it feels like it.
It's not. Uh, by my end, it's like yeah, almost noon. But yeah, we can definitely
Yeah,
for
we
next
could
time
definitely
or
read a bit more of it, like the focuses and that. But we can come back later, maybe today. I don't know. Like, I need to see how everything is. But I don't like to kind of ratify. So we concluded that what is your character? Is like he's a spiderish folk.
yeah, he's
Um,
a expert criminal, I guess.
who kind of basically retired from that life because he literally got
Mm.
bored of it. Um,
Well, the more exciting bits of it.
yeah, like, but he he gave up the life for a reason that none of us would expect, but it would make sense to him. Okay, so he gave up that life, and he's like, does he have kids then? But like, is he married or like,
Yeah.
has he settled down?
Well, I think at some. I think it eventually probably would have been divorced. Unfortunately, it just seems like. I think he's a divorcee.
Again, I'm just imagining like a 50-year-old balding, like bitter, angry, like chromatic Spider-Man who's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
sulking, like,
exactly,
for
dude.
fuck's sake, where was my life going? Like, just white tie, like, just no, a tie, like normal shirt,
Yeah, yeah.
but like spider appendages or like multiple eyes with like some of them like cybernetic.
I just want to know the way I'm gonna play my character is that he really doesn't want to exist anymore. He's fucking tired,
I mean,
dude.
that's fucking
He's just,
nice. Like,
he.
oh, we
The
had
only
to
reason he's
escape
continuing is
fantasy,
because
escape
it's
real life.
because
Now, fucking
it's because of his habits and his routine. That's it, bro. That's pretty much it. You know.
Obviously, he's miserable. He's a fucking spider.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's
okay.
like he's become so good at his job that he doesn't even find joy in it. It's really
So then, so
sort
how
of
long has he been out of the game then? 20 to 30 years? Like 40, 50 years? Something like that?
yeah, like
So a long time. So when he gets told that he's going to Space Station Cromwell, a place that is kind of what would be the like equivalent, a cultural equivalent for you and me? Um,
I don't
I don't
for
know.
Cromwell, Station Cromwell.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the social, like the cultural equivalent to what we both would find familiar. It's like like it's going to a very historical place, but filled with many secrets and a very rich history. It's like going to London, unironically, or like a place that is very rich in history, but also would have the chance